wanted to make this celebration really significant. So we've asked the fire department to come along with sirens. And you notice that they're stopping. Actually, I think we have somebody who may have gotten sick. So in any event, I want to say good morning to everybody. I am delighted to be here. Delighted because this is yet another example of us being able to move forward with efforts in the District of Columbia that probably are some of the most important and yet some of the most difficult, and that is making sure that we do what we can to guarantee the affordability of housing here in the District of Columbia. And that is no mean feat by any stretch of the imagination. We have lots of people to thank. We have Beulah Baptist, of course, to thank. We have folks who are involved in the leadership of the Washington Interfaith Network. We have our good friend, Mary Ann Henderson, who has been so supportive of the District of Columbia on behalf of the Department of Housing and Urban Development, our staff at the Department of Housing and Community Development, and of course, DMPED here in the District of Columbia. The Deputy Mayor for Planning and Economic Development, Victor Hoskins, is here with us this morning. Let's have a big hand for all of those folks. By the way, I want to thank folks for this jacket, but I had a harder time getting in this jacket than I did in one of these homes. They say this is an extra large, so either it's cut small or I'm wearing more than what I think I do these days. In any event, this is the 7th opening in recent months of new affordable housing here in the District of Columbia. As you've heard from Pastor Turner, there will be 63 units. Phase 1 will consist of 29 units, and Phase 2 then, of course, will consist of 34 units, which will total 63 here at Eden Place once it's finished. Household incomes can exceed 150% of AMI. AMI, of course, is the average median income. And frankly, I wish there were a way that we could redefine AMI in the city, because the way it is defined, it includes the entire metropolitan area, and salaries, incomes tend to be higher outside the District of Columbia, which means that the AMI is even higher and makes it higher in the District of Columbia. So it's, right now, 100% of AMI is around $100,000. So 115% would be $115,000. I think we all know that we need housing for people at much lower household incomes than that, because lots of households do not make that kind of money. We have also 12 of the units that are designated here will continue us in the direction of a project that we're trying to make real for the folks in Lincoln Heights and Richardson. That's a new communities project. So 12 of the units as a part of Eden Place will be available to move into for folks who have formerly lived in either Lincoln or Richardson. And we're doing the same thing in areas of Berry Farm, Park Morton, and Northwest 1, which of course is right off of New York Avenue. The city has invested $3 million into this effort. We have made the land available, and for those who have a good memory, you will remember what this place looked like before this project came along. So this is a tremendous upgrade, not only in terms of housing, but also just the appearance of the community at this stage. Last week, I swore in, or a week ago I appointed, and we've sworn in now, a new comprehensive housing strategy task force in the District of Columbia. There are 36 people, and their job is to try to help us figure out how we do more of affordable housing here in the District of Columbia. We're delighted to have such a sterling group of people who are working with us on that effort. They're trying to help us find a more predictable source of revenue to support affordable housing, how to be able to use even more of the district's resources, how we reduce what the eye-glazing process is of going through regulations in the District of Columbia, and how we, at the end of the day, the most important thing, and that is start to bring on even more housing for people to be able to stay in the city. You know, as the city continues to improve, and we are improving in lots of ways, we don't want people to feel like they've been driven out of the District of Columbia. Those who want to stay in the District of Columbia ought to be able to have the opportunity to do that. We want to remain a diverse city, an ethnically, racially, and economically diverse city, and the only way that we're going to be able to do that is with intentionality. The last thing we want to do is look up one day and find out that there are people who are on the outside looking in, who are in Prince George's, Montgomery, and areas of Virginia saying, I don't know why I can't live in the District of Columbia anymore, and I don't think any one of us here today or across the District of Columbia wants to be a part of that. So thank you all for being out today. Thank you so much for those who have worked hard to make this happen. And the thing we can do most is to replicate this experience so there's more affordable housing here in the District of Columbia. Thank you all very much.